Jay Thomas Morning Blend. Today I have Jennifer Quinn and Patrick Seiler. Am I saying that right?
You got it.
Patrick Seiler. And Patrick, I'm going to get started with you. You're the director of this particular play. So first of all, since I couldn't pronounce the play for my viewing audience, would you mind saying the name of the play?
Sure. It's called either Iphigenia in Splot or Iphigenia in Splot. Either pronunciation is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the play.
Well, so Upstream Theater, where we're producing this play, has a long tradition of doing classical Greek plays, either the ancient Greek plays themselves or adaptations or updated tellings of these plays and myths. And this play is an updating of the Iphigenian myth, which centers on sacrifice. And it takes place in a neighborhood in Cardiff, Wales called Splot. And it concerns a young woman there whose name is Effie, or Iphigenia, and her journey and what it means for sacrifice to her. And without doing any spoilers, I'm going to kind of leave it at that.
All right. So without any spoilers, Jen, tell us about your character in the play.
Yeah. So as Patrick was saying, Effie is kind of a modern riff on the Iphigenia myth. The story behind what happens to her in the Greek myth is that, the Trojan War is about to happen. The winds won't blow. Artemis is requiring a sacrifice in order to make the winds blow. And so Agamemnon and Clytemnestra, well, Clytemnestra doesn't really want to sacrifice her daughter, but Agamemnon sacrifices Iphigenia in order to satisfy the needs of the goddess. And so her sacrifice allows the winds to blow and all of the soldiers can then go to Troy to rescue Helen. So that's kind of what happens in the Greek myth. And in this modern retelling, we have this young woman who, for lack of a better way to say it, is really a subject of her circumstance. She's poor, she's uneducated, and she suffers a whole host of situations as a result of that. And without spoiling things, does end up becoming the sacrifice to the state. And what's interesting to me about the mode of her sacrifice is that it has something to do with what we believe, like what value we believe life has.
Sounds like both of our political parties in this last election, but that's another story.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
right? That's why we keep wanting to. We want to do this play. We've been trying to do it for 2 years.
Yeah. Well, so around this time, I was just finishing up a production for Wildfire back in 2020, and I had just cast Jennifer for this part to do in the spring of that year, and then COVID came in, and at that point, we were really keen to do the show because we figured that it would have a lot of resonance to our audience. Mm-hmm. And now that COVID has actually come in here, that resonance has increased tenfold. And Jen and I are very passionate about about the importance of this play in this time right now in St. Louis.
So my understanding is the play is going to be going on at the Marcel Theater at 3310 Samuel Shepherd Drive, January 21st on the 23rd. This will air on the 22nd. And then again on the 27th and 30th. and again through the 30th, and then again February 3rd through the 6th. Is that correct?
That is correct, but I do want to give you some logistical details about how we're going to approach it.
Okay.
At the time of this taping, many theaters have actually delayed or closed down their productions because of the health directive from the city. And we as well want to be very mindful about that. So our opening weekend is really going to be to some very select folks that will be there with an eye to videotape that performance and subsequently offer it as an opportunity to stream a little bit later. We are keeping our eye on the COVID surge at this point, and it is our hope that possibly in the second weekend we might be able to open, but we're realistically thinking more along the lines of that last weekend of opening it up to the public,
which would be the February 3rd through the 6th, correct?
Correct.
Okay, definitely. Patrick, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Jennifer, you too, and talking about this. Would you please say the name of it one more time for our viewing audience?
Iphigenia in Splat or Iphigenia in Splat.
I think Patrick favors Iphigenia and I favor Iphigenia, so you can pick.
Okay, now where can our viewers go to get tickets and information?
Yes. So very important. Facebook page, Upstream Theater Facebook page, and upstreamtheater.org. Go there, click on to get the email alerts, which will tell you when the play will be either streamed and or available for public viewing later on in the run.
Definitely. Patrick, Jennifer, thank you again for joining us on Morning Brand.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.